Hello everyone, my name is Siddharth Srivastava and I'm head of ETF Products at Mirae Asset AMC. Today I'm here to talk about a very interesting product which Mirae Asset is coming out with. In fact, we are coming out with two offerings and both the offering will track NYSE FANG Plus Index. So there will be an ETF which will invest in the NYSE FANG Plus stocks directly, and also fund of fund, which will be investing in the ETF. The reason why we are coming out with two offerings is that investors have preferences, whether they want to invest through an ETF vehicle, by investing through exchange, by investing at intraday prices, or some prefer to invest through a simple mutual fund route. And for them, fund of fund will be a better vehicle because then they can opt for SIP, STP, SWP, etc. So what is FANG Plus Index all about? So FANG Plus Index captures the current global innovation leaders. It provides a very focused, equal weighted exposure to very well-known companies, which are high growth tech, internet, and media companies. These companies consist of Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, Tesla, Nvidia, Baidu, and Alibaba. As I'm saying the name of these companies, you will realize that most of these companies are part of our daily lives, and they have been leaders in their respective domain since last decade. We are talking about companies who are leading innovations in social media, in online streaming, in cloud computing, in e-commerce, in gaming, in electric vehicles, etc. And these big techs are not only the current innovation leaders, they are working on several disruptive technologies which will continue to change our future also. In fact, in 2018, these companies put in almost $68 billion in aggregate in the research and development only. These companies have acquired more than 1,000 businesses or invested in 1,000 businesses in their entire lifetime, aggregated to almost $176 billion. And that is what these big techs do. They not just sit on their laurels, they try to explore and venture into more products and services and try to be disruptive in nature and try to be innovative in nature. And by investing in this portfolio, by investing in these 10 companies, you're not only getting opportunity to take exposure in the current mega trends like e-commerce, social media, streaming, etc., but you're also investing in very good businesses which will continue to innovate in future, which are working on very interesting things, and these companies may expand into more products and services. So it's not any other focused portfolio. We are talking about companies whose aggregate MCAP is north of $7.7 trillion. It is more than 2.5 times the size of India's GDP. We are talking about companies whose revenue is more than $1 trillion, which is 3 times the size of Indian government total receipt. We are talking about companies whose cash balances are an aggregate of more than $500 billion, which is 85% of the total forex reserve held by RBI. And we are talking about companies whose net income is more than $179 billion, which exceeds the income of all Indian equities put together. So this is unlike any other product which is out there in the market. It provides, as I mentioned earlier, a very focused exposure to well-known FANG Plus companies which are part of our daily life, companies which are part of our society, companies which have disrupted the way we live, and the way these companies are working, they will continue to cause disruptions, continue to come out with more products and services in future also. So if you want to have this concentrated exposure in big techs, this is the right product for you. So unlike, for example, Nasdaq 100 or S&P 500, which provide us a much broader exposure, for example, Nasdaq 100 provides exposure to non-banking and financial sector companies listed on Nasdaq, including, let's say, PepsiCo, Costco, Starbucks, etc. This particular portfolio provides you a very focused and equal weighted exposure to very known set of companies you are familiar with, companies which are part of your lives. So why not make these companies part of your portfolio also? And in terms of performance also, these big techs have done phenomenally well. In fact, in last 1 year, FANG Plus Index has given a return of 105% compared to 55% of Nasdaq 100 and 31% of Nifty 50. If we look at even 5 year period, Nasdaq 100 has just given return of 28%, whereas FANG Plus Index has given a return of 46.8%. So the index has performed, these FANG Plus companies have performed very well in last decade. In fact, in last 8 years, FANG Plus Index has outperformed Nasdaq 100 in 7 out of 8 years. And this has been backed by strong earnings and strong sales growth. And going forward also, we expect these big tech companies to have very strong earnings. In fact, in next 3 years, the projected earnings for FANG Plus stocks is around 118% compared to just around 70% of Nasdaq 100 stocks. Even when we are looking at, let's say, investment horizon, and typically for any foreign products, you should look at an investment horizon of at least 3 years. Longer the better, but it should be at least 3 years because foreign funds are taxed as debt funds, which means that for more than 3 years you get taxed at 20%, but you get the benefit of indexation. And if you're looking at 3 year horizon, FANG Plus Index on an average has given return of 36% compared to 23% of Nasdaq 100 and 15.6% of S&P 500. So this is a very, very compelling product for anyone who wants to take a focused exposure. And as I mentioned earlier, we are coming out with both ETF as well as the fund of fund, and it is up to the investor to choose the right vehicle for investments. The NFO for both the funds open on 19th of April. For the ETF, it closes on 30th of April. And for the fund of fund, it closes on 3rd of May. You can use Groww platform to invest in any of these two offerings as per your risk profile. That's it from me. Thank you.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.